So I pray after this video, for those who will take time to watch it, if you are a counselor, now you know how to counsel better. If you are a pastor, now you know how to counsel and mentor better. From a platform of understanding, even though really words sometimes cannot explain from the heart what it really means. The eye of a woman. Death attempts. There are cases whereby husbands have even attempted murdering their wives. Let me give you cases. There are cases whereby husbands will even hire gunmen to follow their wives, to accost their wives, to torment their wives, to chase their wives. And guess what? In some cases, even these women will report to their husbands, and their husbands will not take any interest, or even sometimes they'll abuse. There are cases where husbands, for those who have vehicles, they will even sabotage those vehicles for the wives to go have accidents. And accidents happen, literally. To come and realize that brake fluid was removed and somebody put water. And who services the car? The husband. There are cases whereby the husband even physically will attempt to murder you himself. Those who are living to tell the story is because they survived it. But majority, when it comes to this point, most of them are 6 feet under. They never live to tell the story. And this is in the case of abusive husbands. And these same abusive husbands, when it comes now to murder attempts, they just don't start from attempted murders. They start from abuse, because even how they are beating you, they know where to hit. It is just that you are like a cockroach that has refused to die. And the wife will still continue persevering. Most of them genuine wives, praying to God to change their husband, trusting and hoping. And of course, even when she seeks counsel, they are told, let us pray. Let us pray for your husband to change. But even the one who is telling you, let us pray for your husband to change, you do not know where the shoe hurts. It's only the shoe wearer who knows where it hurts. And that is why she's running to you for help. So I pray after this video, for those who will take time to watch it, if you are a counselor, now you know how to counsel better. If you are a pastor, now you know how to counsel and mentor better. From a platform of understanding, even though really words sometimes cannot explain from the heart what it really means. But I'm trying to really show you from the heart what it really means. Abusive husbands who have reached the level of murder attempts, some of them have even compromised hiring hitmen. And the funny thing is, even the testimonies we've had before from women, that hitmen were hired. This was a praying wife. And these men, when they accosted the wife, they just told this woman, you need to go and hide or keep away from your husband, because we've already been paid to kill you, but we will not kill you. There's a God in heaven. There's a God in heaven. And in most of these cases, luckily for these women where it has reached that level where they have really narrowly escaped death, and this is a warning they have even been given by hitmen who have been used of God to save that life, they wind up filing for divorce. And still, even in the filing of divorce, the woman is still being accused. And because she's not supposed to discuss what I'm telling you today, you will say she's a foolish woman. She walked out of her marriage. The guy was very nice. Because she's not telling you exactly what has been going on. Now you need to know what is happening in the union of marriage, so that when even you hear a woman is filing for divorce, it is not fun filing for divorce. God hates divorce. But why has this woman reached that point? Why has this woman decided to run away from her union of marriage? Why has this woman chosen to separate from the husband? Do you think it's an easy decision? These are the issues that are taboo, that people don't get to know. And I told you, it is happening in this day and age. Not our ancient time. Day and age. Now, some even it's happening now as I speak. But how would you know? Yet they are not supposed to talk about it, to discuss it, to say it, to tell somebody. How would you know? Let me go to another abuse from the eye of a woman. You will hear many cases. The reason why I'm going out is because my wife has denied me conjugal rights. She's not good in bed. She's this and that and that. And this is not the wife talking, because the wife is not supposed to talk. This is a man telling another woman to insult the wife, or telling whoever he needs to tell, so that he can justify himself why he's torturing, battering, abusing the wife. Now let me tell you what you did not know. Let me start with the correct name. What is love making? Because in the union of marriage, when a husband and wife commune together, it is love making. But in real sense, from the eye of an abused woman, there is nothing like love making. From the eye of an abused woman, it is a blessing if it is sex. From the eye of an abused woman, the bitter truth is, it is rape. Why do I say rape? This abusive man will come, beat the wife, insult the wife, abuse the wife. When they go to bed, he will demand for it. And it is not requesting or asking. He might even start with insults, then pin the wife down and do whatever he wants to do. What are the results? The results are the wife is injured, the wife is bleeding. From that day on, it will be trauma. Just the thought of my husband is coming and he might. Psychologically, emotionally, and now physically. These are the untold stories. And guess what follows after this? This wife has a problem. This wife is sick. You need to see a gynecologist because you're abnormal. You're not normal. You are rigid. You are a stone or a stick in bed. You are nothing. This is the reason why, actually, I am stepping out. Don't we all know that sex to a woman is psychological? Don't we all know that sex to a man is visual. Do men not know that you need to prepare your wife before you get it? Yes, they do. Abusive husbands know that, and they know it too well because they do it to others outside there. But because the wife is supposed to be crying 24/7 and she's not supposed to be happy, and actually she's not a human being because she doesn't have a heart, you can abuse her whichever way you feel like. This is another type of abuse on the matrimonial bed. Abuse from the eye of a woman. Lovemaking, sex. From the eye of an abused wife, it is rape. It is rape. It is painful. Psychologically, emotionally, and now physically, for those who do not know. I know of cases where those women start beating themselves up, low self-esteem, because now they are made to believe that really they have a problem. Until they meet sexologists or gynecologists to be told, young lady, young mom, you do not have a problem. You do not have a problem. This is the problem. It's because you're not prepared for this. It is because you have undergone abuse. It's because you're still being abused even on the matrimonial bed. But how many get to know these truths? Some of them die knowing that they were the problem. They were the reason as to why their marriages never worked. They are actually made to believe they are the reason why their marriages are failing, because they are not good in bed. And now you know, no woman, I do not believe from where I sit that there is a woman who cannot be good in bed. Remember, go back to Genesis. Who was supposed to teach the woman? The husband. So have you taught this woman that she did not get to learn, or she refused to learn so that you can have a reason? Even in the counseling, it's actually not even in the counseling. Before you get married, when you're being counseled on how to keep a marriage, is this not one of the things that you're supposed to be learning, that you need to teach this wife what you like and how you like it, and agree together and become a team, become team players, both of you? What she doesn't know, she will ask, I do not know, teach me, and you teach her. So there has been a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of lying, a lot of pretense, and a lot of evil in the union of marriage that is costing the union of marriages. Because when this man steps up out and goes and tells another woman that my wife is not good in bed, so that one, she has been sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, she's qualified. Do you want also your wife to go sleep out with every Tom, Dick, and Harry so that she can perfect her art in bed? And the minute you catch her, just by the thought of she's cheating, you have thrown her out or killed her. Hypocrisy, pretense, and a lot of lying. So many thought that abuse is one-sided. But now you're beginning to see abuse is deep from the eye of a woman. Abuse is in almost every aspect of a wife in the union of marriage. Now let us go to this next part. When the husband begins to cheat, when the husband starts sleeping out there is one major statement that is so much ignored. You are being told to persevere in your union of marriage. The husband is cheating. It's not a big deal. Have you forgotten that this husband, when he goes out there, can contract incurable diseases or diseases without cure, namely HIV and AIDS, herpes, and many other sexually transmitted diseases, and whether they can be treated or not? Is this a consideration that when you're telling this genuine wife to persevere, to continue staying in this union of marriage whereby the husband has multiple partners, that you're not even subjecting this wife to her death? Because who told you that, for instance, if this wife woke up to realize, I've been keeping myself and I've contracted HIV and AIDS because of my husband, this wife will not even attempt suicide or even kill herself? Who told you that most women are strong enough to continue living after this truth, knowing very well that they had kept themselves pure and for this particular husband? Are these not permanent scars that we are subjecting these wives into? And the moment she files for divorce and you hear it's because the husband was cheating, was like, only that. Only that. Only that. Had you forgotten that there are diseases that have no cure in only that? We said we tell it as it is. We tell it from the heart. Do you know the damage it causes to those women who suffer diseases after? And let's take, for example, those women who cannot even afford medication because they have been abandoned by these men. And number two, these are abusive husbands who even told these wives to not work. This woman has been a housewife. She cannot even afford now to begin treatment for a disease that was brought to her. Have you ever sat to think the mental, the psychological, the thinking of this woman from that day henceforth? Do you even follow the track of that lady like 5 years later? Because most of them will end up dead and buried and forgotten. Abuse from the eye of a woman. Abuse from the eye of a woman. The same abusive husbands, but I just mentioned that earlier. These are the permanent wounds we are talking about. On top of diseases, those who even inflict permanent injuries, amputation, scars. I said even some, they pull their wife's hair out. They break their teeth. Things that cannot, even if you go for maybe plastic surgery, you go to put veneers and all that, it will never be the same again. These are permanent scars that will never fade. So when this abused wife runs for help, what have you been telling her? Did you clearly understand why she ran for help? Do you understand abuse from the eye of a woman? Now this is what I want you to start understanding from the platform of wisdom and truth, from the heart. From the heart. Because the heart never lies. The heart knows what it is talking about. Because when it comes from the heart has been touched. The heart has been wounded. The heart has been damaged. The heart has been broken. Still in the discussion of abusive husbands. When the husband decides that these scenarios whereby the husband decides everything, like the working women, there are women who work they work to acquire everything that is in that home. And in most cases, genuine wives, they work for the home. They work for this marriage. They work knowing that this is my family. So everything they are doing is for this home. But this violent husband, this abusive husband, everything the wife makes is the husband's. This is the other set of abuse, and a very painful one as well. Because let me tell you how deep it goes. The husband will take everything the wife has made. The husband will decide that actually I've had cases of where the women even who are employed, the husband operates with a pay slip. So the full amount has to be put on the table. Even if it went to the bank, the husband is the one who has the ATM of the wife. Or he has already forced the wife that they have a joint account. He will never put money in there, but the money of the wife is the one that he will be controlling and taking care of it. And I have personally had cases where when the working woman, and especially a woman who has potential, a woman who generates wealth very fast, the family, the husband and the family, and when I say the husband and the family, we are saying we tell each other the truth. Most of the cases that I've had, it is not families where there is a father involved, like there is a father-in-law. In such families, there is not much drama. But I'm talking in families where this son has a mother, the father either died or the father is not in the picture. So it's a family where it is your husband, the mother, or the sisters. So what they decide is, you young lady who has gotten married into this home, everything, the same way you have gotten married to this home, everything about you is for this home. It has nothing to do with you. So in most cases, it has even nothing to do with the children you have sired with this husband. Because everything you generate is taken elsewhere where you do not know, and where you are not supposed to even ask. And where by the end of the day, if you're not careful, you'll be thrown out with nothing. They will milk you until you dry and become bones. Then they will throw you out. Let me tell you another case. This is now from a woman. The one I'm talking about now, it was about a woman who is a working woman, a woman who has been providing, a woman who is making the money. And now the money is being taken by this other family. Let me tell you the other one. This is a case where the lady has gotten married to a wealthy husband. She came in the union of marriage. Yes, per se, she doesn't have much, but the husband is wealthy. This husband, not the family, the husband has made money. So what happens in case of an abusive husband? Everything he makes, of course, is his. So what happens when he starts, he starts abusing this wife? Either by beating her, either by insulting her, either by cheating her, and especially these wealthy men cheating on their wives. These rich men, they will tell, not all of them, but they will tell this, I'm talking of the cheating husbands, they will tell their wives, if you cannot persevere, get out. Because they know, even in their wealth, they have made sure, even if they have bought this woman a phone or a car or the house where she lives in, they normally tell her, and if you're going, you leave even the phone you're using. You walk out, even the clothes you're wearing are mine. I'm the one who has bought you. You remove everything and go. So what does this woman do? She will persevere. She will persevere the battering. She will persevere the being cheated and abused. And she'll persevere so much because she has nothing. Abuse from the eye of a woman. So in most cases, the women who are dying in the union of marriage is because they have weighed all options and they have realized there is no way out. Because let's continue with this case of a rich husband. These children of this wife, she has children, she has boys and girls, she has a boy and a girl, she has children for this husband. But guess what? Even when you're being told to get out, you're being told, and my children, you leave them. And even if you're going to go with your children, these children are schooling in private schools whereby in some cases, the school fees is over $1 million. So even if you take these children, how are you going to afford to pay their school fees? Leave alone food, shelter, and clothing and the lifestyle that the children had. And that's why you will realize most women are dying to just let the children continue with the lifestyle they are used to. So the women sacrifice themselves to suffer and be tortured, and whatever happens, happens. Because now the children have already come on board. Because this husband will not start abusing the wife before the children have come. No, he must tie this wife down fast in a way that he knows for sure, no matter what I do, this woman cannot leave. Abuse from the eye of a wife, and a genuine wife. Abuse. This is what happens. So when they decide to take, they take. Everything belongs to them. Everything belongs to them. So this is the other abuse from the eye of a woman. When you are told for 20 years you own nothing, 30 years you own nothing, 40 years you own nothing. It is like in the union of marriage, whether the wife made the money or not, that money doesn't belong to you. And it goes to extreme even in divorce sometimes. In some cases, we will continue with this topic of abuse, and you will see how it goes. It is like by the end of the day, the woman has no right whatsoever. Whether you are the one who made the money or whether you found the money, your sacrifice, you're taking care. Because even for this woman who did not bring in the income and the husband is the wealthy one, this wife is entitled to something. She has lived the house, she has taken care of you, she has cooked for you, she has cleaned the house, she has made home, she takes care of your children. Does it mean she doesn't deserve anything? Yeah. So it means that everything that the husband, that every wealth that has been made in that home does not belong to this wife. It belongs to the husband, and sometimes not even to the children. I will give you another case. This is a sad one, and I am grateful because I've been given permission to say this, to actually tell this story, because everything we are talking about, it is happening. These are not stories we are giving. And just because you are hearing them for the first time doesn't mean they do not exist. And I just say it again, and may I repeat, the reason why you do not know about them is because it was a taboo. You're not supposed to talk about them. Or women have been threatened enough to not talk about them. Let me tell you another one. This is a rich family, and rich to the extreme of owning estates. The father was perfect. He was a father and a husband. And their children, I think 5 or 6 children. And he took great care of his children. And he made his wealth, this father and the wife, together. And now, the uncles on the side of the father, they have started noticing acres and acres of land and estates and money equating to millions or even maybe billions. And so they hatch a plan. One morning, the father gets a stroke. And because this is a plan between the uncles, they have already involved the 2 sons. So the 2 sons, they fly the father to UK, quote unquote, for treatment. Stroke, do you have to go to UK for treatment? But he's flown to the UK. And of course, whose money are they using? The father. Yet the father had seen all these things coming to play. So he had planned himself and handed the management of the estate to one of the children. And let me say this, to one of the daughter who is a lawyer, to manage the estate until he gets better. But the plan is the father is not coming back. So the wife the mother now decides, because the mother and the daughter, they are working together. So the mother decides, let me go to UK and check on my husband. Going there, he realizes these sons have been beating the father, forcing him to sign documents as per the instructions from the uncles. And now, even this daughter back home is under threats. She's looking over her shoulder every time she steps out of the house, because she's being followed by killers who she does not know. To this day, as I'm talking to you. Fast forward. The mother tries to get the husband back. The sons file with the UK that the mother is refusing the father to get treatment. The mother tries, I think, for the next 4 months, and she's not able to bring the husband back. Then she comes back because the daughter realizes, mom, you'll even be killed there the way things are going. Come back where I can see you. So the mother comes and goes back to her very big house in a very posh estate in our city. The plan has already been hatched. 4 months later, after the return of the mother dies, poisoned. Why? This lady was told on her face, this woman thinks she can control our brother's wealth. The wealth of our brother belongs to this family. Exactly what I've been telling you, yeah? Now I'm giving you evidence of abuse from the eye of a woman. Those who are in the grave already, and the children who are living to see and continue suffering from the same thing we are talking about. Abuse from the eye of a woman. The mother dies. Post-mortem, poisoning. What did the poison do? It burnt her because it used to be put in her food. From the throat all the way to all the internal organs. The internal organs were all burnt. She had internal bleeding. She died of a very painful death. Death that, to this day, that lady, every time you mention her mother, 7 years later, she's still crying. 7 years later, if this is the 8th year later, there is no justice for this wife. There is no justice. And why do I say there is no justice? The killer is well known. The planners, they were speaking outwardly. As I said, they give you threats, so you shut up. You're not supposed to talk about. So she died, so what? The most painful truth, the reason why this daughter continues crying 8 years later, when she died, she tried so hard to have the father come back and bury the wife, the mother. They could not allow. They stole the body from the hospital and buried it in a marked grave or somewhere she does not know. The children did not even go to bury their own mother. The husband, the father, to this day he's alive, hidden, being tortured somewhere in the UK. And he even doesn't know the wife died 8 years ago. Because the wealth of the father belongs to the family, not the wife, not even the children. Not even the children who are cheated are enjoying. Now their estates, the rents of the houses, they have always been taken by the uncles. 8 years later, no justice. It's not supposed to be discussed. No matter how this daughter tried, she's also a woman. She was told she is married. She should keep off. Why did she allow me to give this example today? Because even the land the father transferred to her many years back, even before he got sick, the father gave her a land, a title with her name on it. She is being told to return it by the same uncles. She was married. Even that land, she's being told, it is our brother who bought it. You are a girl, you're not supposed to inherit anything. Abuse from the eye of a woman. We thank God because the daughter is a God-fearing person, is a born-again Christian, no matter the hardship she has had to undergo. And through prayers, now let me give an encouragement to some people who might have found themselves maybe in a similar predicament. The 4 relatives who are one of the major mastermind of the murder, plotting the murder of the mother, guess what? They suffered some disease. Apparently, they were saying it is stomach cancer. They are already dead. They died painful death of stomach cancer. And when we sit and look back, like for me, when this story is being given to me, when you look back, the same pain they subjected the mother into, poisoning, the stomach pain, rolling on the floor. Because the daughter, when she's explaining the excruciating pain the mother went through before her death, it was beyond words. These people, they died of the same pain. It might not be the same or similar, but you can see, even when there is no justice physically, one way or another, God is a faithful God. And one way or another, He avenges. And maybe as I'm giving this story, I'd want to say this. If there's anyone out there who is in a position, and this must be a very senior position, to help this sister bring back the father, because now the father, we know the father is alive. We might not have evidence, but we know the father is alive. We have faith the father is alive. The mother died. There's nothing much we can do now, but the father is alive. Let's help bring back the father to this daughter. And let this father get a right to know that the wife is no more. And let this father decide, even if they are going to rebury the wife, the way he would want to give her a dignified burial, he may be able to do that, so that even the wife can rest. That is my prayer. And that is the prayer we have been praying for a very long time with this sister. Abuse from the eye of a woman. When the husband and their family decides that whatever wealth that either is the wife who has brought or the husband has made, the wife is not entitled. And they will do everything to make sure the wife is not entitled, neither are the children to this husband who has made the wealth. Now in this case, the husband made the wealth for his children. He was a good father. He did not side with his family. But because the family knew that the man was making the wealth for the wife and the children, they decided to destroy this family so that they can take over the wealth, so that they can continue torturing this man to his death. I am sure, and according to the thinking we have, the reason why the father is alive is because he has clearly refused to sign off what they want him to sign, the documents. And that's why they have been torturing her in the UK, claiming that he's undergoing treatment. 7 years later, stroke. A father is still undergoing treatment. Happening in this day and age, just because this husband stood with his family, stood with the wife, stood with the children, and because he had acquired wealth, the family of the husband cannot stand to believe the children of this man, the owner of the wealth, and the wife of this man, the owner of the wealth, they can take this wealth. You can see the versions. You can see the abuse from the eye of a woman. And we are addressing all women, women who are departed, and women who are still alive who are not talking, and women who are not in a position to talk, and women who have begun speaking and talking and telling the truth. This is the abuse from the eye of a woman. Abuse from the eye of a woman. When everything is taken to enslave you. And if they are not going to enslave you, they will kill you. But you're not supposed to talk about it. And it is taken casually and merely. Canceling. We will cancel you. Now time has come for you to cancel rightly, knowing the depth of the pain. Not